off. Today is day... No, 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 little kitty. Good God. I don't even get through the day. You're so nappy, little cat. Why? Just try not to knock over the webcam. Anyways, just your toes. Today is day 307 of the year of streaming and learning to code. We are trying to continue... Not watch your tail. You're just... Look at this. Look at that. What is this? You're a cat. Please move. We are trying to continue on with not Flexbox Froggy, but Grid Garden. Again, temporary hiatus from our current projects. We will... Once we finish... We just finished Flexbox Froggy yesterday. It was awesome. 24 levels. We did the second half. So today we're going to try and focus on the first half of Grid Garden. And after we knock this out today and tomorrow, then we will continue on with project number 5, and we will be able to finish out the remaining projects. So, let's go ahead and close out of that for now. We no longer need to worry about our froggy friends, and we get to focus on Grid Garden. So, let's go ahead and tackle this. All right. From the top, welcome to Grid Garden, where you write CSS code to grow your carrot garden. Water only the areas that have carrots by using the grid column start property. For example, grid column start 3 will water the area starting at the third vertical grid, which is another way of saying that the third vertical border from the left in the grid. Okay, so here we've got garden, display grid, grid template columns, 20, 20, 20, 20, and 20. So 5 sections, all 20%. And then grid template rows, same song and dance, 5 sections, all 20%. Makes sense. Now we've got water, grid, column start, 3. We'll put it in the third column. Here we go. Let's do this. Hey, Topher, how you doing? We are beginning our brief journey here with Grid Garden, and let's do this. Let's learn some grid stuff. Hashtag grid life. Topher, doing okay yourself? Doing good. I didn't get the virtual ticket. I want to, and there's still time for it, but BlizzCon happened today, so that was... it started. Actually, I guess it's been going on, but today was like the show stuff, the main stage kind of event. So I was able to catch some of that earlier today, and that was tons of fun. So that's stuff we might be exploring in the next year, as the year of streaming and learning to code subsides and sort of shifts into doing other things. We may explore the wonderful world of Blizzard and all it has to offer. So I was kind of curious to see what they had to launch and announce. And so far, from an outsider's perspective, it seems pretty cool. So looking forward to all that fun stuff. But yeah, as far as the projects go, CSS stuff, reflecting on the Flexbox Froggy, that was awesome. So I'm definitely looking forward to the Grid Garden stuff. I think these should be essential tools. We haven't even done anything with Grid Garden yet, and I think it's spectacular. So we're doing quite well. How are you doing, Topher? How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. You know what's also awesome? Not related to any of this, although related to you. Your projects that you provided, out of the year of streaming and learning to code already, the whole month of October was exclusively the projects you provided via GitHub for us to tinker with. So out of the year of streaming Learning to Code, a whole month of coding and stuff has been provided by you. I think a month's worth of content. Let me find where it is on Twitch. There's an actual like hour percent or amount that we can look at. Just to highlight, in case others are wondering why specifically there's only one mod. Maybe they aren't wondering, but I think that just, it kind of highlights what exactly is going on here. How much you've contributed. I know it I think it's worth mentioning. Channel. Dum. And we're loading in collections. And let's close that. There should be an hour count somewhere. Right? There's like, I know there's total time listed somewhere. I know there is. Pause that noise. 41 hours and 31 minutes. I know we didn't have, like, the longest streams. We also didn't have the shortest streams for that month, but 41 hours, a whole month of content is because of you, Topher, and I don't have the words to thank you enough for all of this awesomeness that you've sent our way. So, and there's still more to come. So, you're awesome, and thank you. So, that's that. Topher, I added a new project last night, too. I thought I was noticing a 13. I knew there was a quiz app before. It ended in a quiz app, I think. But that means it changed from 12 to 13, and I was kind of stumbling in my mind as I just started the stream a moment ago doing the math on all the projects, because it was an even third that we had finished, and there was specifically 2/3 left, ending on 12. But there was 13, it was kind of weirding me out, but I saw the time changes, so I figured you'd added more content for us to explore, so thank you. Topher, no problem, man. I've learned a lot writing them as well. Well, awesome. Good. Yeah, just the projects and all of the assistance and guidance over the 10 months or 9 months leading up to it, and during that month, it's been awesome. So, thank you. Anyways, I think our carrot friends need water, right? We should probably help them out. We are looking for first level stuff. Grid column start. Grid column start. Okay, here we go. And 3. So cool. It works. Next. I feel like this site should be mandatory for everyone. Especially the Flexbox Froggy. It was so awesome. Okay. Level 2. Uh-oh, looks like weeds are growing in the corner of your garden. Damn those weeds. Use grid column start to poison them. Note that the weeds start at the 5th vertical grid line. Noted, and we're noting grid column start colon 55. Very nice, Earth. Next. Die, weeds, die. You don't belong here. Topher, project number 7 was the new one. Was that the Holy Grail one? I think it was. We'll take a quick peek back at GitHub. Dum. Projects. Dum. Deem. Called it project number 7. Quest for the Holy Grail. Very Indiana Jonesy. At least in my mind. when grid column start is used alone, the grid item by default will span exactly one column. However, you can extend the item across multiple columns by adding the grid column end property. Using grid column end, water all your carrots while avoiding the dirt. We don't want to waste any water. Note that the carrots start at the first vertical grid line and end at the fourth. They end at the fourth. 4 must not be... This must not be inclusive. Is that what's going on? This isn't an inclusive thing. So if it was inclusive, it would go all the way to 4. Okay, so it's very array-y-ish. Yeah, definitely. So let's try this. So, and grid column start is a single thing. We're going to even do grid... Nope. Grid column start. Watch this. Not what we need, but because I can. 2 is the individual one. But we want to spread water everywhere. End. And it goes to, if it went to 3, ta-da, 3 is not included. So we go to 4, and technically if we went to 5, it would go past. And because, again, we can show this, 6. Ta-da, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. But 4 is our friend. It's exactly what we need. Conservation mode. No more, no less. Ta-da, we saved our carrots. Now, when pairing grid column start and grid column end, you might assume that the end value has to be greater than the start value. But this turns out not to be the case. Try setting grid column end to a value less than 5 to water your carrots. This is so awesome. Does anyone else understand how cool this is? The fact that it visualizes it and it's so basic and straightforward, but it highlights such important concepts. This is why Grid Garden and Flexbox Froggy should be used by everyone. It's magical, damn it. And it's not just me, a low-level novice programmer. It is truly astonishing. Now, continuing on. We're gridding things. So, first off, grid column start. Okay, good. Grid column start at 5. We're going to start at 5. Oh, it already has grid column start at 5. Grayed out. Didn't even notice that. So here, all we need is grid column end. And now again, since it was array or array-ish, where the last number isn't inclusive, I wonder if it functions the same, because the start number or starting parameter is usually included in an array. So let's find out if it includes 2. It does include 2. See, so you don't need to go to 1 and worry about it cutting off at 2. Doesn't happen. We can do 3 or 2, and it works. So going in the reverse direction, inclusive. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. This is why we get to test, and again, why this site is fantastic. Topher Gates, I've never done this before, but it looks amazing. Oh my god. Well, I don't know if you caught the last 2 streams, but they were at weird times, definitely earlier in the day than my normal midnight streams. Even tonight's earlier than normal. But yeah, the Flexbox Froggy, that was just, it was epic. It was great. And this is just as awesome. So, continuing on. Level 5, again, we're only going to the halfway point tonight, level 14. Splitting it up today and tomorrow, just like we did with the Froggy Fiasco. If you want to count grid lines from the right instead of left, you can give grid column start and grid column end negative values. For example, you can set it to -1 to specify the first grid line from the right. So we can count backwards. See, it's amazing. Try setting grid column end to a negative value. So how would that work? So grid column starts at 1. And if we were doing grid column end, I'm first going to give it a positive value. Grid column end. So if we gave it a 4, it goes to there. But if we give it a negative 4, interesting. So 3 versus negative 3 and a positive 5 takes us basically to the end versus negative 5 is at the start versus negative 1, 2, 3. Okay. Fascinating. 4, 5. Now, again, we do want to water all of the carrots, so that would be negative 2. Notice when it's a negative number that it is also inclusive. So 1 takes us right to the end, 5 takes us right to the beginning, and 3 is exactly in the middle. So inclusive when it's negative versus positive, still exclusive. So fantastic. Just astonishing. Now, continuing on. Oh, not 5. We wanted, negative 2. There we go. Happy carrots. Huzzah! The carrots live. Alright, now try setting grid column start to a negative value. Tricky. So, grid column start. My spidey senses tell me negative 2. Ugh. Okay, no. Negative 3. So negative 1 is off the screen. Negative 4. Negative 5. Again, so grid column start is exclusive. Grid column end with negative numbers is inclusive. Grid column start with negative numbers is exclusive. Oh, so much to keep track of. But it works, so if it's inclusive, that means we want it to be 3. Okay, we got it. We got it. What's that, little cat? Good, good. You're still napping. Awesome. Topher. Okay. Oh, you did watch the VODs for him. Way cool. So you saw the full froggy glory. Continuing on, level 7. Instead of defining a grid item based on the start and end positions of the grid lines, you can define it based on your desired column width using the span keywords. Keep in mind that span only works with positive values. Noted. For example, water these carrots with the rule grid column end span 2. Okay. So, grid column start 2. Grid column end and 2. Grid column end to span 2. And if it was span 3 versus span 1, 2, 3, okay. 4. Fascinating. Okay, so we do 2. Good to know. This is awesome. Okay. It would take me so long to make something like this. Dear God. Barely get the magic 8-ball to work. Or the coin toss game. We'll try and get somewhere like this eventually. Try using grid column end with the span keywords again to water your carrots. Okay, so here we go. Grid column end span I think it's 5, but I'm gonna put 4 first. 4. Okay, see? 5 was right. I said it. I called it. 5. Next. Wow, little kitty, you're just all kinds of stretchy. Just hey, no toes on keys F1 through 4. No, none of that. We don't need that right now. Hey, Yum Yum. How you doing? And can't stop farting. How you doing? We're watering carrots and learning CSS Grid. Again, if no one's ever seen or checked out either Flexbox Froggy, especially Flexbox Froggy, or Grid Garden, they're fantastic sites to learn CSS Flexbox, or the CSS Grid. They're awesome. Truly, truly awesome. Anyways, continuing on. Saving 1 carrot at a time. You can also use the span keyword with the grid column start to set your items width relative to end position. Who's doing what now? So grid column end 6. So it's ending there. So same song and dance, but I guess reverse direction. We can choose where it spans to the start. So grid column start with span. Let's do, whoa, crap. Do I need to do a negative number for this? No, it ends at 6. And it's exclusive, so it's at 5. And we want it to go back 3. Oh, look at that. See? 2. We're off by 1. 4, we overshoot. 3 is the magic number. Awesome. Good times, because start is inclusive. Oh. Now, Topher Gates, you were right. This is really fun. Now I'm following along on Grid Garden with you. Well, chances are you'll complete the whole thing. I'm just stopping at the halfway point at 14. That way I can tackle the other 14 tomorrow. They do get harder, especially towards the end. They pulled out all the tricks yesterday on level 24, the last level of Flexbox Froggy. You needed to, like, flip and contort, and it was like trying to figure out an invisible, like, puzzle box. I couldn't hold it. I know it was showing up. It was like the final stages. It was just, it was like trying to piece together a Rubik's Cube, but invisible. You could see the start, you could see the end, but you couldn't, trying to move the pieces with an invisible cube. That's what it was like, trying to figure out the last ones. My mind was, we pulled it off, but it was not easy for us. Anyways, continuing on with level 10. So, typing both grid column start and grid column end every time can get tiring. Fortunately, grid column is shorthand property, is a shorthand property that can accept both values at once, separated by a slash. Oh, separated by a slash. Interesting. For example, grid column 2/4 will set the grid item to start on the second vertical and end on the 4th grid line. We will do ask, and they shall receive grid column 2. No, see, I fell victim to this yesterday. Monkey see, monkey do. I saw their example. I was going to throw in 2 and 4. Not what we need. We need 4/8. 6, I believe. If my spidey senses are correct. I wonder if there has to be a space. I'm putting a space because it looks like there's one. I know there needs to be a slash, but that can be one of the things we test out. Not 2. Again, monkey see, monkey do. 4/6. Cool. And 5 gives us 1 box. And we were going to clear spaces. Does that still work? In a space-free world, yes. It lives without spaces, but I kind of like the space. For now. For now. Onwards. Level 11. Topher, I'm on 16 at the moment. Damn. That's okay. We're enjoying the puzzles. This is like Breath of the Wild. With the shrines. We're no need to rush. We are indulging in the awesomeness that is saving carrots. Alright, trying to use grid column to water, try using grid column to water these carrots. The span keyword also works with the shorthand property, so give it a try. Oh, so, hold on. How the hell am I? I'm just not sure how to juggle span into the mix of this. I see no difference between using grid column start and exactly what the window should be versus using span for that and whatnot. So span, grid column start, grid column end. Let's just do it. Let's see what happens. Grid column span. Wow, little kitty is super dreaming, just vibrating explosively. Hey, check your shit, little cat. You doing good? You doing good? Oh, she's dreaming. There you okay, there you go. When she dreams, she sleeps with one eye partially cracked. I can see all the rapid eye movement, all the REM stuff happening, and it's a little alarming. So I like to check on her when one of her eyes is cracked open, because it's a little scary. But she's good. She's good. Just doing little kitty stuff. Okay. Span something. Span hell, goddamn. So 2/5. Why is span there? Why? So what if I make it 1? Oh, dear God, no. What is... So span anchors on to the end. So if it were 6... Tiny cat. You're in the way. There you go. So... watch this. If there was no span, it would start at 1. And it would go to, you know, just, again, not inclusive. Oh, little kitty. So without span, it does that. But with span, it changes from starting here to starting at the end. So we do, we'll leave the 1 for visualization. Span. Ta-da! So it only clears 1 box. If we set this to 5, and we want it to span back 3, ta-da! Beat-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Fucking incredible. Absolutely amazing. No carrot left behind. There we go. One of these things that sets CSS Grid apart from Flexbox is that you can easily position items in 2 dimensions, columns and rows. Cat, your face is just... You're blocking 2/3 of the screen. Please lay down. Thank you. Good. Oh. Poor feline. She has no idea what to do with her life. One of the few things that sets CSS Grid apart from Flexbox is that you can easily position items in 2 dimensions, columns and rows. Grid row start works much like grid column start, except along the vertical axis. Wow, okay, I wasn't actually paying attention after the period. Grid row start works much like grid column start, except along the vertical axis. Right. Use grid row start to water these carrots. Will do. So, grid row start 4, right? Yes, yeah. Oh, no, 3. Because starting is inclusive. 3. Ta-da! Be-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Alright. There's that. On to level 13. You've got this level and one more. We'll land this bird, call it a night. Grid Garden. Now give the shorthand property, grid row, a try. Okay, okay. Oh, grid, okay. Shorthand stuff. I see what you're talking about, Topher. They just throw us into the shorthand fire. Grid row. I can even spell it. 3 to 6. 3 to 6. Haha. Take that, carrots. Beautiful, beautiful. And now, last but not least, level 14. Halfway through. Use grid column and grid row. Both. Interesting. Shorthands for each. At the same time. To set position in both dimensions. Okay, cool. Oh, I thought they only gave us one line, but they give us both, lines 8 and 9 to use both. Okay, cool. So, grid, typical. So, grid column would be, starts at 2, ends at 3. Spidey senses don't fail me now. And this grid row, same song and dance, starts at 5 and ends at 6. Starts at 5 and ends at 6. Ta-da! Send these weeds straight to hell where they came from. Good, good, next. Ta-da, holy hell. Well, we've got a sea of carrots to save tomorrow. Just as a glimpse of what's to come, you can also use grid column and grid row together to span larger areas within the grid. Give it a try tomorrow. Alright, so that's it for now. Good times. Can't wait for the rest of the stuff. I wish there were more of these. They're fantastic. Really. Everyone needs to try it. Flexbox Froggy. That's what I started with. And then, Grid Garden. Yeah. Good times. Tons of fun. Good for kids and adults. It's just, it makes the world a better place, really. So, that's it for now. Let's go ahead and back out of this. Thank you again to anyone and everyone who stopped by to view the stream. Today we had Topher, Can't Stop Farting, Yum Yum, and thank you again to anyone else who may have accidentally stumbled in to view the stream. Any and all views are greatly, greatly appreciated. Day 307 comes to an end, but the adventure continues tomorrow with day 308 of the year of streaming and learning to code. In the meantime, are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Kill it!